Welcome to Trust Talks with BBB Serving CT. I'm Kristen Johnson. In business, trust talks, and Better Business Bureau's mission is to enhance marketplace trust. In each one of our episodes, we hope to give you a better idea of what to expect, what to look for, and what to look out for, so you can spend your money wisely and avoid being scammed. The cost of owning a car does not stop with the purchase of that car. Whether it's a needed oil change or other repair, you need to find a trustworthy mechanic or auto repair shop. And joining us to provide tips on that topic is Marianne Croce of Croce's Transmission Specialist LLC out of Norwalk. Your business has been accredited with BBB for 15 years. Thank you so much for joining us today.
I'm so glad to be here. I'm really excited to be able to really help bring some clarity and demystify auto maintenance and repair today.
Well, first of all, tell us a little bit about Croce's.
So we opened up our shop in 1999, and Tony had almost 20 years of technical experience, and my experience came from banking, more corporate. So we thought our skill sets really complemented one another, and we took the approach that we wanted to be a resource to our community, a resource to our customers as well. Then that evolved. We wanted to also be a resource to our team members so that they can learn and advance, and industry peers. And lastly, we wanted to be a resource to our next generation of young men and women that are coming into the industry. So we started getting involved with schools. And all of this really helps us stay current and help people get the most value out of their vehicles.
One of my first questions has to do with winterizing our vehicles. You know, the winter season is just around the corner. What should we be doing during the fall to prepare?
Yeah, to prepare for winter. That's a great question. And we see a lot of vehicles coming in that didn't prepare for winter. So I have 7 tips to share with you today. And the first one is definitely check fluids in your vehicle. Make sure they are clean and they are full. You want the shop to make sure that there are no leaks, because today a lot of vehicles no longer have dipsticks for the engine or the transmission. So it's very important. Also at that time, have them do a visual inspection of belts and hoses on the vehicle. Now, the next thing is tires. Those are definitely a safety item. So inspect tires for wear. Connecticut really doesn't have the extreme weather that some states do. So most people don't switch out their tires. They have like an all-weather tire. You may see that more on big commercial vehicles. Battery testing is another one. That's important because we have lots of items in our vehicle that are electric. And now also we have devices that we're charging all the time. So there's a draw on the battery. So it's important to get that tested. Wipers. No one wants to be in frozen rain or sleeting situation and find out your wipers don't work. That can be really frustrating. Mm-hmm. Also, keeping your vehicle clean. So washing your vehicle and even protecting the undercarriage. We've noticed over the years that vehicles have a lot of rust on them, a lot more than they did years ago. And that's because of the salt mixture that they put on the roads. There's less accidents, but we're dealing with more rust. And lastly, check your 4-wheel drive in your vehicle. If your vehicle has that, check it once a month. You can do it right in your driveway. Put the vehicle into 4-wheel drive. That light will go on, and then take it out of 4-wheel drive. That is a way to check to make sure that it's working and you're lubricating that system.
Those are some great tips. You know, a lot of us aren't experts like you are. So when we take our car to a mechanic, we're really putting our trust in them. What can you suggest to address people's fears of auto repair?
Yeah, fears of auto repair are definitely real. And, you know, movies and commercials really villainize the automotive repair industry. But I'm here to tell you that when you go to a shop or you're looking for a shop, take the approach that you're going to interview them. You're going to bring your vehicle in for probably something small, and take that opportunity to really see how you're being treated. The goal of a shop is for them to be able to keep your vehicle safe and reliable so that you have the most value out of your vehicle. So they're going to tell you everything that they find. The last thing you want is to, after going to an auto repair shop and having maintenance or a repair done, is 2 weeks later to have something else go wrong when they could have prepared you and told you about it. Communication is also a good thing. Don't hold back. If you've had recent work done, let them know about it and really describe your concern in detail. Is it something that happens all the time? Is it an intermittent problem when you're on the highway or local driving? Things like that really help the shop, help you.
Yeah, if they don't know, then they can't help you, right? So you really have to be open, have an open dialogue.
Well, they want to recreate that situation. That's what they want to do, to really get down to the root cause of the issue.
Unfortunately, there are some less than trustworthy individuals in this industry, like all industries. What are some of the more common scams that you hear about from dishonest auto repair shops?
So I think that when it comes to scams, there's a lot that has to do with communication, expectations of a customer, maybe a shop not communicating as well as they should, and it seems like they've been scammed. But one thing to really look out for that can really help is if you go into a shop and in any way they are disrespecting you, they are pressuring you, or they're disregarding, not really paying attention to what they're telling you, then it's really time to seek another opinion.
Those bad actors have really spoiled it, though, for the good guys like you, right? That then unfortunately get put in and have that same reputation.
Well, you know, there's bad apples in every industry, right? We can talk about that endlessly. But I think that for you, most shops that are out there, we talk to a lot of different shops and have great relationships with them. And there really are a lot of good people doing things for the right reasons. And what they want to do is educate their customers.
So what's the biggest misconception out there about car repair companies?
Yes. So when it comes to automotive repair, there are a lot of misconceptions. I would say it's perception. And the first part of that is education. A lot of people don't know that education and continued education is really required to stay current in this industry. Technology has evolved. Just look at all the different things cars can do. So that's really important. Now, shops in Connecticut need to be licensed, and that goes through the DMV. Individual technicians can be certified through other associations. One of them is ASE, which stands for Automotive Service Excellence. And the thing about that is no matter where that technician works, as long as they have that certification, that stays with them. Awesome. And I'll tell you, a lot of shops look for that when they're hiring top talent. Another thing that is a misconception is the testing. A lot of times people go to a big box store and they think if they get a code, that's it, their car's been diagnosed. Testing is really important. That code is like giving someone a zip code. But now what we need to do is we need to find the street address and the house number. So that testing is
a great analogy.
That testing is really important. And the last part of the misconception is community. A lot of times people think that competitors, are out there against one another. We're actually working together to support the industry and help consumers. We'll refer work to each other.
So then how do we weed out the bad guys and choose a reputable car repair shop?
Yeah, there are definitely things to look for. And one of them, again, I'm going to go back to, where you were, how you were treated. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's one of the things. And if you go out and do a little bit of research, you will find a lot of different things that reputable shops are really part of the community. They go beyond the four walls of their shop and they are giving back and they're really part of the community. Any questions that you have should be answered. If there's anything that you're concerned about, ask the shop about it and they should give you a clear explanation.
When should you get a second opinion?
Well, one of them, the reasons is if you feel like they really don't understand your issue or it's not something that they work on all the time. It's not a common issue because certain shops will do different types of work. So for example, we're a transmission shop, but if somebody were to come to us, we don't do body work. So we would refer them to someone else. And reputable shops will do that. If it's not work that they do, or your vehicle is not a vehicle that they specialize in, they will refer you to another shop that does.
Now, you mentioned the ASC certification. Are there certain licenses or certain certifications we should be asking about when we get there before we give them our business?
Depending on what kind of work you're getting done, a lot of times shops will have their certifications posted so they're easy for you to see. And so you can, check out the waiting room and look and see, ask for their certifications, ask what type of associations they belong to. And that's a great way to find that out.
Now let's talk about the importance of researching. Obviously, we want people to go to bbb.org to look at the customer reviews and complaints, but what are some of the other ways that you suggest someone find the right mechanic for them?
Yes. Well, a common one that people hear, besides going to BBB, is asking friends and family. But ask also the shop that you frequent. Ask another shop. One of the signs is when shops talk badly about each other, that's probably not a good sign, because we don't talk badly about another person in the industry. But what we do is we educate people on our process. Okay. Sorry you had a bad experience at your past, transaction or your past shop that you went to. Let me walk you through our process. And we educate you on the process. You want to know that shop has a process. That's very important. The other thing is go to the websites of the shops that you're looking at. How, again, involved are they? What do they belong to? Their associations are on there. How easy do they make it to contact them? And they'll talk about things like that in the website. And if you have a concern or you have an issue, they should be really easy to get in touch with.
Estimates are very important, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
Why?
Well, estimates are important because it sets an expectation so you know, and you're not blindsided in any way, shape, or form. And it makes for great communication. Written estimates are required. You should get a written estimate on any work that is done. And you can ask for that. Today, with technology, you can be emailed an estimate. It's very common that can be done.
So it's a red flag if they won't give you an estimate.
Well, if they won't give you an estimate, that's definitely a red flag. Yeah, okay. That is a simple request because a shop wants you to understand what they found and what they're going to do to fix the issue. Also on there should be the fee for the testing and let you know about that as well. And then what you don't want to do is get kind of a bandage type of repair. So you want them to explain what's actually involved. They'll also cover what's included with that estimate, what kind of warranty you're going to get as well. So that should be noted on there.
Do some places charge for estimates? Is that common?
They don't charge for estimates. What they'll actually charge for is the testing to get to that diagnosis and find out what the root cause of the problem is. And then that's what the charge is for because there's equipment that's needed. Usually it's the highest skilled technician in the shop that is doing that. So there is a cost to it. So yes, that's what the charge is for, but not the estimate itself.
So you mentioned earlier people going to big box stores and getting that code. Some may take it a step further and really try to self-diagnose the problem and then ask for specific work to be done. Why is it important to have that professional diagnosis?
Yeah, so what happens is what we found over the years, right? The power of the internet. It could be good, but it also could be
find anything, right?
It could be very bad though, because a lot of times what happens is they're listening to something that actually isn't even about their vehicle. It could be a submodel of their vehicle that's not the same one as theirs. So they might have an SL and what they're reading about or learning about is on the different model. Okay. So the other thing is the components in their vehicle may be different than what they're listening to. They may have a different engine or a different transmission. So the best thing to do is to find that trusted shop and ask them, put the onus, the responsibility on the shop to make the right repair.
Let's talk about guarantees. What is a guarantee, and will it transfer over if you sell your car?
So typically warranties, what you want to do is you want to read them. You will be given a warranty. It'll be documented on your repair order, on your invoice, but you also want to understand what that warranty includes. Some will transfer over, but many won't. So you want to know that ahead of time.
And what is the standard?
Well, it depends on the type of repair.
Okay.
It really does. A lot of electronical components do have a shorter warranty. That's because the components themselves are not warranted for as long as some other types of parts. But yes, there are differences in warranties, and they should be noted on your invoice.
Can we go through some of the more common types of car repairs? Like, for instance, brakes. Is there a standard that we should expect for a warranty on brakes?
It depends on the
tires?
shop. Some
it really
shops
does.
will
Okay.
warranty things for a year. Some shops will warranty things for 2 years, and some even beyond that.
Okay.
And usually when you do get a warranty, just to make that clear, it's usually miles and time. So 12 months, 12,000 miles. 2 years is 24 months, 24,000 miles. So that means if you drive the vehicle and you put 24,000 miles on the vehicle and you do that in 18 months, that means you're out of warranty.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's whatever comes sooner.
Yeah. And there are certain associations that will give you a nationwide warranty. Can you explain why that's so helpful to consumers?
Yeah, that really is helpful because there's an in-house warranty that you have to go back to that repair shop, but a nationwide warranty means that they have a network. And they have a network so that if you're stuck or you break down and you're out of state or you're on a road trip, they can connect you with someone in that area and they can help you. It's also a good thing to note what we found over the years is many parents that are sending their kids off to college with all of the things that they have to remember and do. It could be a little overwhelming. They haven't found an automotive repair shop in that area. So many of them have contacted us over the years. Something was wrong with their son or daughter's vehicle, and we were able to connect them with someone in our network.
That's amazing. So when you go, you should ask them if they're part of that association.
Right, if they're part of a network where they can warranty nationwide.
Yeah, that's probably not the top of most parents or college kids' list, right? Is finding an auto repair shop. And they probably aren't taking top-of-the-line cars to college with them, so they may need one.
Exactly.
That's really great. Are there guidelines to follow if we're getting work done while our car is still under warranty?
Yeah, so that question is really, there's a few different components to it. So if your vehicle is under warranty by the manufacturer, which means the dealer would cover that work under warranty, it's always best to go back to the dealer. Why pay for it if it's under warranty, right? And the dealer will have rules or things that you have to do to make sure that it's covered under warranty. So you would check with them. Maintenance is a big one. Even if you have a warranty at a shop that's not a dealership, again, maintenance is a big one. That your work is being done under warranty. A lot of times people purchase service contracts. They call them warranties, but they're actually a service contract. So when their vehicle is out of warranty with a dealership, they'll buy that. And maintenance is key with those because we will help people walk through that, and we will help them as we do the work on their vehicle and they're dealing with that service contract company. But maintenance is very key on there. They want maintenance records. So it's important to know that going into it. And all of this is in writing, and you ask for it and you make sure that you understand your warranty. And again, if you have any questions, please ask ahead of time. It's better to be proactive.
Definitely. Speaking of being proactive, are there any things we should be doing as the car owner to avoid major car repairs?
Yes, absolutely. When you are thinking about avoiding major repair, the best thing is just like your body, right? We want to be proactive and take care of our health so we don't have any major issues. When it comes to your vehicle, you want to do the same thing. You want to take care of the maintenance. I can't stress that enough, because in the long run, you can really avoid a lot of major repairs. I mean, there's no guarantee, but maintenance is definitely key. Address concerns early. Don't let a concern that you have put it off, keep putting it off, and allow it to get worse. One of the things that's most common is that people will get their vehicle checked out, and I'll use an example as their check engine light is on. They find out it's emissions related, but they're not due for emissions for another 4 or 5 months. So they're going to drive around for 4 or 5 months with that little check engine light on. The danger of that is you could have a couple of other issues that started to develop and you're not aware of it because you just assume the check engine light is on for that original concern. Then they go to a shop and they find out it's just not the emission issue, it's other issues. And that may even be interpreted as a scam to the customer, but it really isn't. They just, because they left the light on and didn't address it, it's kind of like, you know what I mean? They didn't realize what was happening. The other thing is you want to have your fluids checked often. That's another way that you can help. Again, there's no dipstick in a lot of vehicles in the engine or transmission. And I can't tell you how many times people didn't realize just because the manufacturer said you could go 5,000 or 10,000 or sometimes lifetime, before you have to change fluids. There's kind of a little caveat there that a lot of people don't know about. You have to check your fluids regularly because you could be low on fluid. And there were times that we've had, 3 vehicles come into our shop that all needed engines. They didn't move. And it wasn't because they didn't change their oil when they needed to. They didn't check it. And there was no oil in the transmission.
There. And so that led to more damage?
It led to more damage. And now, instead of an engine oil change, they needed a new engine.
Oh, wow.
So that's a huge thing. And a lot of people aren't aware of that. You still are responsible for having the fluid checked. Could save you a lot of money.
That was my next question. Any idea how much we can save by following that routine maintenance
It's hard
schedule?
to say because, one car may, need one repair and another car may need another. But in the lifetime of the vehicle, I think it's fair to say that you could save yourself thousands.
Wow. Now, okay, our car is done. We're going to go pick it up. What should we expect? A bill, I would assume.
Yes,
but what should we expect
yes.
when it's time to pick up our car?
Definitely. So when you pick up your vehicle, what you want to do is today, it's very common with technology and software that a lot of people have before and after hours drop off and pick up. So you may not even be meeting a person face to face when you pick up your vehicle, right? It might be after hours. So you want to get a written copy of the invoice and you want them to go over it with you. Take the time to clearly go over that with you. Now they can send this to you, email, which is very common today, but take the time to do that. And if you don't understand anything on there, definitely ask questions. Then the next thing is all of the work that you've authorized should be on there. It's important to know that here in Connecticut, all work needs to be authorized before it's performed. So if you're taking time to make a decision, they cannot and will not work on your vehicle until you give them authorization. So if it takes you a little time to make that decision, even though your car's been there a couple of days, you have to realize that they're not going to start until you give authorization. So it's really important. Also, when you pick up your vehicle, you're going to see a communication log on your invoice. Those are the times that the shop called you, got authorization, if there were other work that they found, anything like that, and they wanted to address it with you, that will be on there, and your authorization for that. Or if you decline that work at this time, because maybe it wasn't something that was needed right away, it was something that you could wait a little bit and go a little bit further. And the last thing is what's really important is a lot of times owners may want to see parts or they want to see, and in Connecticut, you can actually ask to see the parts from your vehicle that were replaced. What you need to do is do that when you authorize the work, because to keep the shop safe and organized, they don't leave older parts hanging around. They dispose of them properly, and they do it all the time. So if you wait till the end of the repair, they might not have them. A new thing that's really eliminated that need for that is digital vehicle inspections. They're called DVIs. We use them at our shop, and a lot of shops do today. You can ask if they do. And what it is they'll actually take photos for you, or even mini videos to show you what is actually wrong with the vehicle, and they'll send them to you. So that really takes the need a lot of times for a customer wanting messy parts.
Marianne, you have educated me so much today. I mean, every answer to every question is something I didn't know. Before we go, I mentioned you've been accredited with BBB for 15 years. What does that accreditation mean to your business, and what do you hope it says to your customers?
It means a lot to us. I mean, 15 years went by so fast. And really what it means is professionalism. We consider ourselves a resource to our customers and community, so we want to align with other resources that help and see them. So, BBB means trust to us, and we hope that's what it means to our customers and community.
Well, Marianne Croce of Croce's Transmission Specialists in Norwalk, thank you again for being with us today. We really appreciate it.
It was a pleasure.
And thank you for joining us today for Trust Talks as well. Again, you can go to bbb.org to look up an auto repair shop that's trusted near you. We'll see you next time.
The water's warm at Jaws Pond, and we're stocked full of treasures. Big or small, we buy it all. We buy and sell fast rides, power tools, vintage guitars, and so much more. Walk the plank in style with our fine jewelry, diamonds, and watches. Plus, we have a huge selection of the latest video games, including the new PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. Jaws Pond, conveniently located on Meriden Waterbury Turnpike in Southington and West Main Street in New Britain.
I'm your host, Kurt Barwis. Today, I have a very special guest, Dr. Andrew Lin.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Veterans Corner. My name is Chuck Wooden.
Decision for ourselves for this week, if we want to be made well.
Hi, welcome to the crack of dawn. It's Dawn Lombardi. I'm starting the painting. It's going to be the clips with some water. Love it.
He took me on the sets of Lost in Space, Batman.
Everybody has a story. What's yours? Until next time.